want to do this. And do it one leg at a time. That's actually a bit harder, I think, than just alternating. Very controlled. And see that the work is all being done at the core, in the center, not in your throat, not in your jaw, not at the back of the neck. Localize it. Joseph Pilates called this whole area the powerhouse, right? So we want to engage the powerhouse and nothing that doesn't need to work. And when we work that way and feel like you really course it in the abdominal muscles, just a few reps become pretty tiring. Okay, come back to center. Knees together, arms out to the sides in a T. We're going to inhale, and then we're going to exhale and take the knees over to the right. It could be a little bit or a lot. We're going to inhale center and exhale to the left side. And we're engaging our obliques. You can make this very small, like I'm just going now an inch or two, a few inches over to the side. Or you could go all the way down and come back, but just again, work with yourself. These are early moments of practice, so just see how much you're comfortable engaging here. A little goes a long way. I really love the expression less is more. So small, controlled, just a little oblique connection here. Good. And then you can come back to center. And then we're going to take a twist. So take the knees down to the right. You could do both knees, right? Or you could do right leg long, left knee in, left knee over. So you decide just any way you'd like to make a twist here, lying down. And then back up to center and a twist of some kind over to the left. Again, early moments in class, maybe your first movements of the day, so just take it, don't overdo. Really stay with yourself. And then come back to center, give the knees a hug, and then just some kind of massage for the low back. So if you'd like, you could take your hands to your kneecaps and make circles, straightening the arms and then bending the elbows and outlining the rim of the sacrum, that large bony shield that forms the back of the pelvis. Just taking the perimeter of it and massaging. Anyone who sits a lot, or just, if you have low back tenderness, this is such a wonderful one for resetting the pelvis, just spreading the low back. And then you can go take the circles in the other direction. It's so easy to get jammed up in the SI joints, the sacroiliac joints, and so we just want to help to bring some ease. You can stay here and continue with that movement or any other movement, or you can come to sitting, whatever you like, while I just share a few words with us. So my friends, happy month of Nisan. Wow, it's amazing how time flies. So Rosh Chodesh was yesterday, and today is the second day of the month of Nisan. Of course, we recently passed the spring equinox, so here we are changing seasons, and maybe, in your body, I know it's true for me, the body's just trying to get used to what's going on as the seasons change. Body tries to open to it. And we're in a new book of Torah, the book of Leviticus. We begin the book of Vayikra this week. So in Vayikra, we're starting to talk about the laws around different kinds of sacrifice and how to approach the altar, i.e., how do we bring our offerings to the divine source. The meal offering, the mincha, the sacrifices for well-being, zevach shlamim, the sin offering or the guilt offering, asham, etc., and all these instructions for Aaron, the high priest, Kohen Gadol, and his sons. So what are we and what are we looking at here from the perspective of the inner life? Instructions for how to approach in life, how to give thanks, how to apologize, how to express regret, how to give our offering, how to make our offering. And our offerings should have, of course, a pleasing odor to the divine, right? Reach nichoach l'Hashem. So how can we bring forth a pleasing smell with our offering to the source of all being? Rabbi Yael Levy, I'm consolidating her beautiful writing on this parshat. I took out just for myself to have some guiding kavanot for this week. I want to share with you kind of what I pulled from her writing this week, from the book Directing the Heart. Remember that your life is a gift, and everything you are and everything you have been given is yours to share. Make your life an offering and draw close to me. Look for opportunities to be grateful. Acknowledge moments for well-being. Engage in forgiveness. Practice compassion and understanding. Let it release you from anger, resentment, and regret. Make an offering of your talents, your distinctions, your vulnerabilities, and delights. Let your practices, deeds, doubts, mistakes, and blessings be your offerings. In other words, all of it. Let it all come forth and be your offering. As to our yoga practice, this very mat itself is the place of offering, and we can really use it and work through our actions, purify our physical movements, to make an offering. And there's a word for that in yoga philosophy, in Sanskrit, tapas. It's not lots of plates on the table, but tapas is the fire, the burning fire that is our offering. So it really actually lines up so perfectly with yogic thought. And we can bring to the altar whatever needs to be burned up, whatever isn't useful anymore, whatever needs to be released. So what I'm getting at with this work for the core is both as regards Vayikra and placing our offerings that can be twisted and wrung out. I'm thinking of like a wet towel, wrung out, squeezed out, offered up. We can bring these things. Our transition from winter to spring is about shaking off cobwebs, about squeezing out, twisting out what's been dormant and quiet, and starting to move ourselves into more action, right? So as we turn from winter to spring, I offer the question, what needs to go on your altar and be released and offered up between seasons? So we're going to come to all fours for the moment. If it's not comfortable for you to be on your knees and on your wrists, you can go ahead and sit in a chair. We're going to take a quick threading of the needle, but in a slightly different way. Usually we come here from all fours. We're going to take it from child pose. So if you're able, taking the buttocks back to the heels, and then from this place, taking your right arm under towards the left, palm facing up, extend through the fingertips and twisting. You can use the left fingertips to press and help turn the rib cage, or you can extend the left arm long, palm facing down like downward facing dog, if you'd like, right? So a couple different variation offerings for the left arm. Just feeling that abdomen take a twist. This is really good for digestion, really good for blood flow to the abdominal organs. We call it squeeze and soak. Coming back, taking the other side. So left arm under, sitting back in child pose, palm facing up, and if you'd like, you can extend the right arm long, or you can press into those right fingertips. Twists are just wonderful to help us wake up, to get a little relief in the paraspinal muscles. Just really good to do a twist every day. And we often focus so much on forward bends and back bends, we forget the twists. And when you're ready, coming back up, tucking the toes, coming to a ragdoll, lifting the hips, folding over, take hold of opposite elbows here. Keep a bend on the knees. Let the forearms, so you're holding opposite elbows, forearms are even. You're hanging over. Let the head go. Let the weight of the forearms and the elbows just bring you down. And then you can take a little bit of movement, taking the forearms clockwise. Just letting the shoulder joints have a little bit the influence of gravity to just make some space in that ball and socket. It's good for us. So the elbows are moving, the shoulders are just where they are. And then take it in the other direction. Just finding some ease through the joints. And then as you're ready, starting to roll up. Navel to spine, coming up vertebra by vertebra until you come to standing. Good. Okay. And just to find a little bit of ease in the body, we're going to work through the joints a little bit. First through the ankle. So you can either balance and take circles, or you can just come up on the ball of the toe and move the heel one direction and then the other direction. Just starting to take the oiling can to the joints. One by one, we're going to open them up and then take the other ankle. And bringing your attention just fully to sensation in the part of the body that we're moving. So if you find that the mind wanders, which it does, which it will, just bring your mind back to sensation, to breath, and to your intention to bring your offering to the mat today. It's full intention. And then the knees, bending the knees, take a little massage to the kneecaps. And then making a little half circle, one direction and then the other direction. So bend the knees, come around, and then coming back the other way a couple of times. Going easy if you have any issues with the knees, any pain. It goes for all the joints, but it's often true for knees. Just taking it easy. And then widening the feet a little more than hip width. And just start by taking a little tick-tock with the pelvis. Right, like you're the pendulum of a grandfather clock. Just tick-tock, side to side. And then making a circle with the pelvis, just a small circle. And then you can widen out if you like. Going really slow, really juicy. It's really letting your body settle into the pleasure of movement today. And then go the other direction in a circle. Good, and then we'll move to the wrists. Starting to move the wrists around, little flamenco hands. You can close the fingers and open the fingers. Ease, just inviting ease. And then going the other direction. And then start to investigate adding the elbows, but keeping moving with the wrists, actually. So you can open and close at the elbows. And then wrists, elbows, and also shoulders. So you can use the elbows to carve circles in space. You could do a little backstroke, lengthen the arm. Again, working with any limitations that you have or any pain anywhere in your body, and go both directions. So if you're doing backstroke, also do some freestyle. And then from here, start to move into a little bounce. And see if you can be so easy, like you're on your whole skeleton is on a coat hanger, and the coat hanger is just being shaken, and so the body is just easy, like empty coat sleeves, empty pant legs. Just shake it out a little bounce, a little shake. Feel the air on your skin. You know, we don't talk a lot in this space about skin, but the skin is the largest organ in the body, and we hardly spend any time being aware of it. So I invite you in this springtime, especially when you go outside, to feel your skin. Feel the air, the breeze on your skin, the sun on your skin. Good. And then bring that shaking, from that shaking and bouncing, come into stillness and just notice how you feel. Notice any reverberations internally. Where do you feel alive? Where do you feel ready to offer yourself into opening? Where do you feel closed or tight? No judgment, just noticing. We'll take a few standing poses. So let's start with triangle pose. We'll start to the right, turn the left toes in and the right toes out. Both legs are straight. You might want the hands at the hips. You might want to extend at shoulder height. Inhale, and then exhale, shift the hips, extend the torso, bring the hand down. So the hand can come down to your shin as I'm doing, or to a chair or a block behind you. Top arm can rest, or top arm can come up toward the ceiling. You decide. The gaze can be forward, or the gaze can be up to the ceiling. Again, see what works for you. Couple breaths here. As you're ready, inhale, press into the feet. Let it come from the navel. Let it come from center. As you lift up, turn the feet. Good. Both extend energy down through the feet, through the roots, and also lift up through the earth and through the arches of the feet. Draw up from your foundation to the pelvis, to the crown. Inhale. And exhale, shift the hips, extend, and come on into the pose. Just finding this shape. It doesn't even need to be your fullest, not at all, your fullest triangle pose of all time. Just finding the outline of the shape of this offering. Each shape an offering in the overall practice. Couple breaths. Press into the feet. Inhale to come up and turn the feet. We'll take warrior two. Inhale the arms and exhale, bend through the right knee. Few breaths here. When you're ready, come on back, turn the feet, Inhale the arms. And exhale, bend through the left knee. Just finding sensation, letting it move through the body. Seeing what there is to offer up, to burn up, to release. When you're ready, press into the feet, come on back. Turn the feet. We're going to take side angle next. This is a nice little sequence. Triangle, warrior two, side angle. Inhale the arms. Exhale, come into warrior two. Inhale, place the forearm or take the hand behind you. Good. And then exhale, finish off the pose. Arm can come overhead, can be at your side. Any variation on side angle that you'd like. Press into the feet, inhale to come up. Turn the feet. Inhale the arms. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, bring the forearm down. Exhale, bringing the top arm up or keeping it at your side. Some version of side angle, extending, opening. When you're ready, press into the feet. Inhale and come on back. Okay, friends, bring the feet together. Take a hand to the belly, hand to the heart. Soften the gaze or close the eyes. Check in and notice how you feel. Release the hands. Come on down to a seated position. You may want to be seated on a blanket. You'll see what you need. Bend the knees. Take the feet a little bit wide. Take the hands behind you. We're going to start with just a little bit of windshield wiper. Knees side to side a little bit. You can let each hip point come forward. Good. And then we're going to take the knees down to the right side and start to bring that left arm across the body as much as you'd like. You'll see what you want. Inhale, come back to center, around, and exhale, take a bit of a twist here. Good. And then place that left hand down behind you, and you can press into the fingertips and lift and twist and draw the belly around. And you can play with this however you'd like. So in whatever amount, we're taking a twist. If you'd like, you can come down onto forearms. Just see what works for you. It's really, again, feeling the space of the navel moving, twisting. And then release, bring the whole thing back through center, and a little bit windshield wiper side to side. Then we're going to take this to the other side. The knees come over to the left, and then the right arm starts to follow, and the gaze, head, neck, right? So inhale, open to center, back to the sweep around the room. As we exhale, shoulder height, the right arm comes around and behind. You can do this a couple times, inhaling into the room. Exhaling, find that twist. Place the right hand down behind you. I guess behind you is now in front of you. Lift up the chest. Good, and if you'd like, you can come on to forearms. So just see what works for you. Again, don't overdo But playing with this twist. A little bit different than, each twist that we do is a little bit different than the others. They're like all have these interesting little variations that bring something else. This one brings, for me, a lot of sensation right in the center of the abdomen that feels slightly uncomfortable, although not unsafe to me at first. And then I sort of breathe into it, just to share from my own experience, kind of what you might either be feeling or sort of looking for, or maybe you're feeling something else entirely. But there's a lot of sensation I find in this twist right in the abdomen, as opposed to spine, rib cage, which we'll get to in a moment. Kind of a deep twist, and just work with that in your own breath. And then as you're ready, come on back to center, and we're going to take a seated twist. So choices, we're going to start with the right. So you can bring your right shin in. You might leave your left leg long and twist here. You might cross, right? Or you might tuck the bottom leg under you. So lots of possibilities here. Decide which works best for you. Inhale and lift up tall. And then exhale. Start to spin the belly, the spine, the shoulders, neck, head to the right. And you'll see what you want for an arm position as you start to make this twisting shape. And investigate with the breath. As we inhale, we extend the spine. As we exhale, we spin and twist. Really being with it. What can you wring out? What would you like to release or offer up? As you're ready, come back to center, and then take an open twist out to the other side, a little counter twist. Good, and then we switch sides. Bring that left shin in. Inhale, lift tall, ground both sitting bones. Should have said that before. We want to really find ourselves on top of our sitting bones, right in the center here. Inhale, lift up tall. Again, any of those three positions are fine. Exhale and spin to the left. Any of the three variations. That's what I meant to say. See what you need on the other side. Are you more pliant to go to the left? Less pliant? What do you notice? Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, spin. Bring your mind right into the center of your experience, the center of your navel, and the center of your breath. And then as you're ready, come on back to center and take an open twist to the right, a little counter twist. It's a very nice thing to do. Okay. One more energized thing before we start to close it up. I'm going to take a plank, and you can take this really in any version that you would like. You can be on your wrists. You can be on your forearms. You can have the knees up, right? So you could be here. You could be here with the knees down. You could be on your forearms. But what we're going to do is we're going to extend the legs or knees bent. Again, see what you need. hips, in line with the heels, in line with the crown, one line. Feel like your abdominal muscles, again, are corseting together, drawing up, building heat through the center. Don't let your pelvis sag, right? So long tailbone, sending toward the heels. Oh, use your breath. You can even use a Kapalabhati breath. Forced exhalations can be nice through the nose, like this. As you build some heat, some strength. And when you're ready, lower the knees. You could sit it back, child pose, or anything you'd like, just to pause and rest. And then we're going to come on to the back and take one more little twist in any way you might like. Or if you're very much done with your twisting, I respect that. You could do something else. You might want a figure four or something like that. But if you're up for just one quiet sort of restorative twist, taking the knees down to the right, broad across the chest, left shoulder blade grounded. To just ease up on that whole practice. It was a lot for the center. And then bringing the knees up through center and over to the other side, or whatever you're doing. You could take the other side. So what I was getting at, in the same way the priests, the Kohanim, put a pan of whatever the offering is onto the fire, we're building up the internal fire, stoking the fire at the abdomen, waking back up after winter, and just burning up any qualities we just want to leave on the mat. There's sometimes not the right connotation from the word purify, so I'm not sure that's the best word, but maybe you guys will help me with something else when I say like detoxification maybe is a better word than purification, right? And then lay yourself down in any way for final relaxation on your back. You can take off your glasses. Let everything go. Any attention to movement, any attention to alignment and form, even the attention to the breath, let it go. Little poem to accompany Vayikra. You can just let the words wash over you and settle wherever they need to go, wherever they need to be heard. Instructions for the Journey by Pat Schneider. The self you leave behind is only a skin you have outgrown. Don't grieve for it. Look to the wet, raw, unfinished self, the one you are becoming. The world too sheds its skin. Politicians, cataclysms, ordinary days. It's easy to lose this tenderly unfolding moment. Look for it as if it were the first green blade after a long winter. Listen for it as if it were the first clear tone in a place where dawn is heralded by bells. And if all that fails, wash your own dishes, rinse them, stand in your kitchen at your sink, let cold water run between your fingers. Feel it. If you have more time to stay in Shavasana before you get on with your day, go for it. Feel free to turn the video off and just return when you're ready. If you're coming back to your day, beginning by wiggling fingers and toes, deepening the breath, starting to come back to the surface. And find your way up to a comfortable seat. Tall spine. As we close our practice, we send wishes for well-being and for healing out to anyone who needs. Might include yourself even. Refuat ha-nefesh or refuat ha-guf. Any healing of body, or soul, being. Family, friends, strangers, out to the greater world, out to this planet, out to those who have suffered in Myanmar and Thailand from this earthquake. So many places to send healing. To Palestinians suffering in Gaza and in the West Bank, and to the hostages, the Chatufim, still held captive in Gaza. We send out, as our liturgy instructs us to do every Monday and Thursday, Achenu kol Beit Yisrael. Please join me with the words, or you can just let it wash over you and you can listen as we pray for the safe return of those in captivity. Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Achyoteinu kol Beit Yisrael, Hanetunim betzara, betzara ubashivya, Haomdim ben bayam uven bayabasha. Hamakom yerachem, yerachem aleim, veyotziem mitzara, lirvacha, umafel leora, umishibud ligeula, hashta bagala, Uvizman kariv. Hashta bagala vizman kariv and umar. Amen. Shavua Tov, everyone. Chodesh Tov. Thank you for practicing. So glad you could be with us today. Please do check out the Omer course coming up, as well as the retreat at Kripalu. I hope you can join me in a few weeks. It'd be great to have you. If this time together has been meaningful, or anything that has been offered from IJS, you're always welcome to make a donation in any amount. Any amount helps us continue to run these free programs and resources for you.